Hello everyone, in honor of Samhain and Halloween, we're doing a few kind of Halloween, Samhain themed tarot decks. Talula and I are doing that this week. Talula's napping right now. She will not be awakened from her sacred slumber, so we shall let her sleep. So you probably won't get to see her in this video. But the deck that we're going to review right now is the, hold on, let me just grab it because the Vampire's Tarot of the Eternal Night deck. And even though this is a low Scarabeo, and I don't know if I'm saying that name right, deck, this is actually like this is like the special edition version. And I just have a little dust on the top of it. And so it's nice and a hardcover, and it opens up like that, which is really cool. And this is what the inside looks like. Here's like this little, looks like the borders on the inside of the cards, and then this is where your card deck goes and your book can go. So this is really cool. The nice packaging I like. I typically dislike the low Scarabeo deck like case that it comes in. They're really flimsy. They tend to get damaged when they're shipped. And you know, it's just I'm not in love with them. I love all of the different themes that the Scarabeo decks have, but I do have a gripe about them, and I appreciate that they're printed in so many different languages, but the fact that it's just all Roman numerals and images for each of the suits, like on the borders, for instance, like this is the 9 of Cups, and it's just like the cup and then the 9, and then for the court cards, it's the symbol for, like, let me just check, I have to get the book out to check this because I work with so many different tarot decks that it doesn't work well for me. So this is a complaint that I have. Let's just see here. So I think that this is the King of Wands, but I'm not 100% sure. See how there's an image at the top? And that's supposed to tell you which member of the court card grouping it is in. I don't really like that. It's confusing to me, as you can tell, and so I don't really appreciate that. Also, a complaint I quite often have with the Scarabeo decks is that the cards themselves are really flimsy. Sorry about that, everyone. The cards are really flimsy, and they are really slippery, and so they slide everywhere. Like when you go from one room to another, if you're not really paying attention, they'll just slide off of each other and go everywhere, and that's not my favorite thing. The decks are thinner here than some tarot decks, which is, again, another typical thing about low Scarabeo. I don't mind that with this deck. We'll get into the images in a minute. But as you can see, you're still seeing enough of the image with this. It's fine. It's not a detraction for me. So I don't like this type of imagery in a tarot deck. I think if you watch many of my reviews, you know that the type of imagery that the Vampire's Tarot of the Eternal Night has is not one of my favorites. The reason why I bought this is because Barbara Moore wrote the book, and I am a huge fan of Barbara Moore's work, and I really love her books. And so for me, it was worth a purchase, even if I wasn't going to really use the deck, because I knew that the book would be really, really interesting, and it is quite interesting indeed. First of all, there's color representations of each card on each page, and then in this section, after the intro where she talks about the mythology of vampires, etc., there's the traditional meaning, the story of the vampire depicted, the dark approach, the human approach, the light approach, and then the divinatory meaning. So I find that really interesting. Oh, and I forgot, at the top there's like a key phrase or word that helps you to understand what the card means. So like this one's the Hierophant. The key phrase is laws of life, and then the keys are, what laws shape your principles and behaviors? To what extent do you live what you believe? So I really, really love the guidebook. I'm a huge fan of the guidebook, and I enjoy reading the guidebook. I absolutely detest the imagery in this deck, and because of that, I quite often do not turn to it to use it for any type of divination or psychic work, because it doesn't help me connect, and I just find myself irritated by the imagery. There's only 4 cards that I can deal with the images in this deck with. I will show them to you right now. The star. The Five of Pentacles. The World. And the Hermit. And the Hermit irritates me too because it's a direct knockoff of Coppola's Bram Stoker's Dracula. I mean, it looks exactly like Vlad. Like it's a direct. It's a not. I just don't like it when people do that. Like, make your own deck, please. Just use your own images, please. And that's a slight gripe I have with the Gods and Titans deck. It's like, you don't need to copy someone else's face or body or take it, something that someone else has already created in an artistic manner, in my opinion. Just sharing it. This is the backing of the cards, and I don't like the backing as well. So, 4 cards out of 78 that I actually can deal with. The rest just irritate me. They're really like plastic-looking, fake-looking people, which I guess is like what a vampire is, I guess they're saying looks like. And I just, I really just don't like it. I'm sorry, I don't like it. So because of that, I do not use this deck for divination for the most part. I have used it a few times, and I've done it for a few daily draws on Facebook, and maybe I'll use it again this week because of Halloween and Samhain, but it's just a very frustrating deck for me because I just cannot access my intuition and my psychic abilities from the imagery that's featured in this deck. I mean, I just want to laugh at that. Like, what? How does that help you understand anything? I don't know. So I can't really recommend this deck unless, like, you're like me and you're a big Barbara Moore fan and you want to study the guidebook that accompanies the deck. Then go ahead and give this a try. She's got some really interesting, she always has great spreads at the end, and so she's got some really great ones in here that are really interesting. And I feel like she took the creation of this guidebook really seriously. And, oh, okay, here are the symbols on the back. See how you have to access the symbols to know, like, what the core cards are and everything if you don't use this deck constantly, if this isn't your deck of choice. I don't really like that. So I can't really recommend this deck for purchasing unless you just saw the imagery and you absolutely love it. Obviously, there are people out there who love this imagery because this kind of photorealism thing is really, really popular in tarot decks. So if you love that type of imagery and it feels like it might be a lot of fun for you to work with, then go ahead and purchase this deck. Or if you really just want the guidebook, go ahead and purchase that. I really love the guidebook. It's super interesting read, really great facts, and I just love that she gives you so many different approaches to the card. So really, for like meditational devices and things like that, this could be a great deck if you like the imagery, just because of the great tools she gives you in the guidebook. So unfortunately, this deck is not on my like essential tarot decks to own. It isn't even on my I like this deck list. I just don't like this deck at all. So there is the official tarot review with Talula opinion of the Vampires Tarot of the Eternal Night deck. Guidebook by Barbara Moore. Artwork by David Corsi, I believe. And produced by the Lo Scarabeo, or Scarabeo. I know, guys, I'm just not great at pronouncing that. Yeah, that's it. Sorry that this is an amazing deck. Go out and purchase it review, but it's just doesn't do it for me. So thank you all for watching, and I'm wishing you a blessed Sabbath and my favorite time of the year. Like, it's really here, late fall. I love it. So I hope you're all enjoying this season as well, and see you in the next review. Take care. Bye.